The son of Krypton, the Boy Scout from Kansas, the man of tomorrow. Regardless of who you know him as, he's finally here to usher in a brand new era of DC cinematic storytelling. Look up in the sky because the Superman review is coming your way right now. What is going on, everybody, and welcome to the latest edition of the Porter Report. My name is BJ Porter, and I hope everybody is having an amazing day today. For all of my returning viewers, it is wonderful to see you all again, and for all my first-timers out there, welcome, and we hope you enjoy everything that this video and channel has to offer. The biggest month of summer movie season 2025 continues as I deliver to you guys the latest Porter Report movie review. I use this segment to express my thoughts and opinions about the movies that I see and enjoy, and those of you do as well. There are a lot of event movies that have come out and are set to come out in 2025. But I promise you none are more eventful or important than the movie we're going to be discussing today. It's been a good while since we've seen this character lead his own solo film, but his latest iteration signals a brand new era for the cinematic realm of the DC Universe. Today I'm giving you guys the official review for DC Studios' Superman, directed by James Gunn and starring Rachel Brosnahan, Nicholas Hoult, Eddie Gathegi, Isabella Merced, Nathan Fillion, Scarlett Johansson, Maria Gabriela de Faria, and as our titular man of tomorrow, David Cornsweet. And also starring Crypto because I want to make it known that the Porter Report is a certified Crypto the Superdog stan account. Just want to make sure we're clear on that. In the history of one of DC Comics' most important figures, the character of Superman has been incredibly influential for generations. Since his early days within a multitude of different mediums, every take on the character has had a profound impact on whatever era he resides in. That impact is felt whether you experienced him in animation, live television, or on the big screen. With this latest take on the son of Krypton, this brand new Superman standalone film sees the character return to the big screen and serves as the opening installment in the DCU, being held by former Marvel mainstay James Gunn. Gunn's passion for this vast universe of characters, both big and small, well-known and obscure, paints an optimistic picture of the future as we enter the early stages of this new era of this universe's brand of cinematic storytelling. But before we can indulge in what's coming down the pipeline, the question on whether or not the DCU's first cinematic entry delivers is still yet to be answered. Is this a monumental and significant return to form for the one they call Kal-El? And how will this film set the stage for the first chapter of DC's cinematic world building? Well, if you're ready to fly off and seek the answers, so am I. Here's the Porter Report movie review for DC Studios' Superman. In a world full of heroes, one has to wonder why the current state of humanity is at such a low point of morale. Despite the people of Earth knowing that metahumans have existed for over 3 centuries, a good majority of them are either tied up in corporate affiliations or imprisoned by those in power due to fear of their unpredictable nature. In spite of the harsh reality of the established status quo, there does seem to be one who is unafraid to go against the grain. Sporting red trunks, a flowing red cape, and a brightly colored S symbol on his chest, this powerful metahuman, many of whom have dubbed Superman, goes out of his way to help those in need both within his home borders of the United States and overseas in an attempt to try to do good by the people of Earth without any form of restrictions or conditions. Powerful overlords who thrive off the current world state, including billionaire tycoon Lex Luthor, see Superman not as a means for good, but as an obstacle preventing them from further indulging in their lust for power and control. Faced with a brewing threat and struggling to overcome obstacles almost too big for him to handle, Superman must ascend to his ultimate calling and present himself as a powerful symbol of hope in a world that deems it an old-fashioned relic of the past. The Man of Steel returns to the big screen in the opening cinematic entry in James Gunn's highly anticipated DCU. The first solo film for the iconic character in over a decade, DC Studios' Superman aims to not only reintroduce audiences to one of the comic book medium's most beloved figures, but lay the foundation for the future of this particular Heroverse's brand of cinematic storytelling. After soaring with the Man of Tomorrow in his newest heroic endeavor, Superman is an action-packed reintroduction to the character that captures what's great about him while also being done by someone unafraid of doing it his own way. The anticipation for the long-awaited start of the DCU has been building since its announcement in 2023. Many were excited yet rightfully skeptical about how these characters would work with James Gunn at the helm. As the official opening cinematic project for the DCU chapter known as Gods and Monsters, Superman sees Gunn taking on something that is a far cry from the obscure character stories that made him a household name like Guardians of the Galaxy or the Suicide Squad. The character of Superman is one of the most iconic in comics. How Gunn would reinvent him for this new DC universe was the main thing that everyone wanted answered. I can thankfully say that Gunn Gunn not only understands the characters within his story, but he also presents them in his style without ever sacrificing the character's essence. Gunn had plenty of help in that department thanks to a talented ensemble. But if we're going to talk about the cast, who better to start with than our title character played by David Cornsweet. It is no secret that this role came in with a lot of expectations given its importance to both this film and the DCU as a whole. Despite the hurdles, I'm excited to say that Cornsweet is a Superman more than worth investing in. This version of Superman might be the most human interpretation I've seen. The character goes through a multitude of struggles that test him throughout the narrative. What I appreciate the most about Superman in this iteration is that he is by no means perfect, but his intentions are always pure. You fully see his passion for wanting to be a symbol for good. He is, at the end of the day, just a well-meaning guy who wants to do the right thing. But of course, circumstances have him constantly questioning if he's doing it the right way. He gets knocked down constantly and finds himself at times on the ropes both physically and emotionally. But like the fighter he is, it's his humanity that always allows him to come out on top. Cornsweet played Superman in a way that made him not just likable, but someone you actually want to see succeed. I'm excited to see what he's able to do with this character as the DCU begins to expand and grow in the future. While having the character of Superman be engaging was a top priority, the entire supporting cast was equally strong as well. Rachel Brosnahan's Lois Lane is the type of firecracker of a character that is a blast to watch on screen. Her drive, wit, humor, and chemistry with Cornsweet make every scene she's in just as great as the ones with our title character. Brosnahan truly nailed this role, and I can't wait to see more of her in this universe. On the opposing side, I can happily confirm that we got a top-tier Lex Luthor, courtesy of Nicholas Hoult. If you are looking for a version of the character that is the pure definition of unhinged envy and spiteful wrath, look no further. Hoult's Luthor is purely calculated and conniving in the way that the character should be. Driven by pure ego and superiority prejudice, Luthor is a villain that hits you and hits you where it hurts because he can't stomach the fact that you have something that he himself lacks. Equal parts ruthless and at the same time endearing, Hoult gets full marks for making a despicable yet entertaining antagonist. As for the other members of the ensemble, even with a limited amount of screen time, almost every character in this movie left an impression. It's a rare thing when you can point to a character with minimal screen time and actually feel like they made the most out of what they were given. As the other powered members of the film's ensemble, the trio of Guy Gardner, Mr. Terrific, and Hawkgirl was fun to watch as a tandem throughout. However, one particular member of the trio really brought tremendous energy to the film and elevated it as a whole. Eddie Gathegi's Mr. Terrific is given a little more to do out of the three, but he is by far a bona fide standout. His chemistry with literally everyone in the cast makes him such a joy to watch, and his performance is one that I know will be a highlight for people. Nathan Fillion and Isabella Merced deliver as Gardner and Hawkgirl, with Fillion's brand of humor shining through despite the limited screen time given. Others, including Skylar Gisundo's Jimmy Olsen, in addition to Maria Gabriela de Farias the engineer, as well as Sarah Sampaio and Anthony Carrigan, all have standout moments that really make this a story where even when Superman isn't on screen, you are still invested in everything that is unfolding. Full credit goes to Gunn's writing for crafting a world you want to spend time in even when the leading man isn't front and center. This really brings me to the thing that I respect the most about this movie. Even though this is a Superman film, it is authentic to Gunn's style in all forms of that statement. It's easy to assume that just because it's a Superman movie that Gunn's tendencies and sensibilities will be toned down given the character he's working with. But make no mistake, Gunn never sacrifices his brand of filming. His fingerprints are all over every aspect of this film as he presents his Superman story that is authentic to his particular vision. The action in the film is visceral, thrilling, and packed with adrenaline that feels like a high-speed roller coaster ride. The cinematography infuses every scene with a strong sense of chaotic energy, making every set piece equal parts intense and hard-hitting. The humor in the film is hilarious at its best and a bit weak at its worst, but your view of the comedic elements of the movie will depend solely on how much you like and understand Gunn's style. I will say that if there's one thing that Gunn really knocked out of the park with this movie, it is the pure heart embedded within it. Gunn, for all his humor and chaos he brings to action set pieces, he never forgets to add heart to his films. The movie has a plethora of emotionally earnest moments that might be just as important and powerful as the action displayed on screen. This is a sensibility that I have always respected Gunn for, as it adds gravity to the story and makes you invested in the characters. It's no different in this movie. That very sense of earnestness that is added to each scene only makes you want to root for these characters harder and continue to see how they develop and change throughout every moment you see them. This is the type of emotional investment that will only serve the DCU moving forward as the universe expands and more corners of it get revealed. As more characters, including the big players, start showing up, having each story be done with this type of commitment to maintaining the heart and essence of what makes them so beloved is a vital component to creating a cinematic universe that will sustain itself. I'm excited that Gunn understands this and has shown shown that he can create stories with these characters that ensure that they are true to who they are in a way that makes sense for what they represent. In the end, Superman in its purest form is a fun and action-packed thrill ride with pureness of heart coursing through every fiber of its being. The movie is a good time throughout, and it really has me invested in what is in store for this new era of interconnected storytelling. While it's never easy making a story about a man who embodies truth, justice, and the American way, the Man of Steel's return to the silver screen is a hopeful and promising start for this new cinematic corner of the DC Universe. Bringing a character like this to the big screen is never an easy task. It's even more difficult knowing it's going to be the launching pad for a brand new cinematic universe. I genuinely had a great time with Superman as it delivered a story that was authentic to the character and made me invested in this new interpretation. Needless to say, a lot was riding on this movie. But thankfully, the final product delivered an experience that brought me immense joy and truly has me excited for the future of the DCU. For those wondering if the style of this director is going to be toned down because of this character, allow me to put that to rest right now. This is undoubtedly a Superman movie that is 100% pure and authentically James Gunn. Your enjoyment of the film may very well depend on whether or not you enjoy his brand of humor, action, and overall style as a filmmaker. From my perspective, while he told this story in a way that was unique to him, he made sure that the essence of the character stayed intact. As the DCU continues and the cinematic universe expands, I'm confident that each entry will feature versions of these iconic characters that will be true to who they are and be the full embodiment of what they represent. I look forward to seeing more from this corner of the DC universe, and I can't wait to experience the journey that is about to unfold. But on that note, time to throw it over to all of you guys. Sound off in the comments below your thoughts about Superman, but please be mindful of anything that could potentially be seen as a spoiler. For all the fanfare surrounding this movie, the thing that I appreciate about it the most in the end is the fact that it's a great time and it has a wholesomeness to it that is absolutely needed right now. When a movie can deliver like that, that is truly the best type of medicine you can ask for. Stay tuned for more reviews and continued coverage of summer movie season 2025 and beyond. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend to stop on by. I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of their day, and until the next review, I'm BJ Porter, and this is the Porter Report.